Hey y'all. My name is Jessie Johnson. I am a stitcher. I live in North Louisiana, in rural Union Parish. And this is my first Flosstube video. I recorded a video the other day thinking that I was going to post it, and I ended up not doing that. Sorry if it's shaky. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, I got my messy kitchen behind me. I haven't been a serious stitcher for very long. I may have stitched something when I was young, maybe with my grandmother or my mom or something, kind of like that. But here recently, I've really gotten back into stitching. I've done a few projects from the last couple of years or something like that. I did do my grown stepson that was in the Army. I did something, I would show you, but it's the pattern. The seal, I think, maybe. Not quite sure exactly. The seal of the Department of the Army, and I put a quote on there that he liked and his name, and he was a medic, so I put his nickname Doc. Everybody called him Doc. And I never got it framed, finished, or anything like that. I just ended up giving it to him. My stepdad was in the Air Force, and I did a really big, probably 16 by 20 thing of what I call the Air Force wings. He retired Air Force Reserves in 2008 as a Master Sergeant. And so I had Air Force written across the top in that Air Force blue. And then the wings, and then his name and things down at the bottom. And had that framed. It was really special. There's a lady named Sandra, I think, that has a website and a newsletter dedicated to stitching. She does kits and patterns and things. With religious religious themes. She has something called His Name is Jesus. It's a big pattern. Has Jesus real big in the middle, and then several different names you can get from the Bible of Jesus. And I stitched that for my sister. Had it framed at a local place. Kind of costly. I didn't like the price, but it was well worth it. I will probably end up getting into finishing and framing on my own one of these days. I started stitching more seriously lately. I wanted a hobby, something to do. On a personal note, I'm probably going to be having a surgery here soon, and I wanted to get started on some stitching projects so I'd have something to do while I recovered. And I'm really enjoying it. It gives me something to do in my free time. My husband works. I work 5 to 6 days a week at a processing facility in the area. My husband works. He's a truck driver. He works at night, and so we spend a lot of evenings apart. But that's okay. We see each other on the weekends, and that's fine. That's great. So, to get started, I can show you a couple things that I've done recently. There's a seller on Etsy that I use, or that I bought some things from, some small patterns and some bigger patterns. They're really cute. This one, she does a lot of birth records and wedding gift style things, little kid stuff. But I did this, there were some twin boys in my church. A lot of her stuff she will customize for you, but a lot of it, in the same vein, you can do DIY. Like she sent, like when I bought these patterns, and I brought several others from her with different themes. she'll send you lettering so you can do your own name, or actually these were actually bigger pieces for an entire birth record with name, date of birth, time, stuff like that. But these were twin brothers, cutest little things. You can tell very much that they are not milkman babies. They look just like their dad. Very cute. The babies are, anyway. And sweet as they can be. I wanted to have these done for their first birthday. And they turned one back in May, and I didn't finish them until like July. So, and I still have them. Here it is. September now. Wow. Yeah. So that was a small project that I did. I have a grandson also. And I bought a bigger pattern from the same lady. Zing Zangy, Zing Dangy, Zing something. I can't remember. On Etsy is the lady that I bought this off of, that I bought these patterns from. This one, for my grandson, I deemed it finished. And now I'm doing one for my granddaughter, and this one's not finished. Because I was just so tired. I had started it last year, and I set it to the side, and I wasn't doing any stitching, and I picked it back up, and I was just ready to be done with it. And yeah, so let's see. I kind of curl-tailed the end here, but this is it. It's really cute. She called it Forest Friends birth record, and you can see his information down there on the bottom. His name is Asher, and he's sweet. He's a sweetie pie. That's a little fox, a deer, and a raccoon. I thought I did pretty good. On the piece that I talked about earlier with my stepson, the Army SEAL piece, I learned a lot on that. I hadn't stitched in probably 20 years at that point. So the last time I stitched before that, I was a little kid. And then I bought this one kind of in the same vein for my granddaughter. I gotta unroll it though. Oh, well, you can kind of see it. That's the back. And there she is. Her name, like Asher's, will go across the top. Her name is Abigail. We call her Abby. And then this is why I didn't, I'm changing that other one is finished. The birth record actually goes down here. Date, time, weight, and length. And then down here, the girl has a place for city and state where they were born, but I'm not going to do that because they were both born in the same place. Same hospital, I think. No, not the same hospital, but pretty much the same place. Oh, there's what it looks like. And I'm not going to do these side borders with the polka dots. I'm just doing the middle part, and see, she's got on here Ellie Rose Smith or something like that, you know, so you can see what it looks like when it's complete. But everything is DIY. But she'll customize it for you too at a bigger price. When I got, and there's the other one. So all DMC, these are on, I think 16 count Aida. I'm not real sure. I like my Aida. And I like stitching. I like stitching because it's, I feel like it's concrete in a way. I'm a very literal person. I really have no creative bone in my body, even though I wish I do. And this is a creative outlet for me. With still being able to fit inside a box. You can't. I want to do embroidery too because I think some of this stuff is beautiful, but it's too vague sometimes, I think. In with the different types of stitches you can do, you know, in the different, yeah, I can't. I gotta be able to color by number. Yeah. Okay, so the Sandra, I can't even remember her last name, with her website that I got the religious things off of. Her website is called Joyful Expressions, I think. And she sends out a newsletter, I think once a week, once a month, every other week. I'm not really sure. Trying to sell her kits. And she's got a story behind that too. I can't really remember what it is. In one of her newsletters, she talked about Flosstube. It's like, sure, why not? Let's check out Flosstube. And y'all, I'm addicted. I don't know what to do. I've got so many Flosstubes that I want to watch. Several different people. The first one I watched was Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher. She's hilarious, I think. I love her stuff. I love her finishing. And watching her, and I've watched Mischievous Stitcher over in Georgia. There's another girl in Atlanta. It's got the same name as me. Schoolhouse Stitcher. Jessica, I'm not real sure. There's another Jessie. I think her name's Jessie Marie. I watched one of her first ones, and it was neat. I mean, like all Flosstubes, I was kind of into it. We don't have the same style a lot of the times, but that's okay. And then I just jumped to one of her more recent ones that's like 2 hours long for a whip parade. And she said she had 80 whips. I'm like, woo. I think I would freak out with 4. Yeah, because I'm a one whip person. Yeah, let me keep it inside of a box for a little while. But in watching Flosstube, I know now what I want to stitch. I know the styles that I want to stitch. I'm really big into some of the primitive pieces I really like. Americana pieces. Some floral stuff, but not too loud per se. Pretty much anything that comes out of Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks I'm just salivating all over everything. I love it. So that got me to buy these patterns. There's 3 of them. I think I think I have number 4 also, but it's not over here. The Early Americans by Little House Needleworks. I think they are adorable. There is a 5th one and a 6th one out. But I haven't gotten those ones yet either. I'm going to start with these. I'm going to do it all in one piece instead of little pillows like these are. Ooh, yes, off that. I'm not quite sure, though, that I'm going to use the Classic Color Needleworks. I'm probably going to end up using DMZ because easier access, I guess. I'm not real sure. And then also, excuse me, there's another one of these, but I don't have it yet either. The Afternoon series, Afternoon in Paris, Rome, and London. These are so precious. I think they're so cute. And then there's also the Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks. I want to do those too. I just want to do everything. And then I'm in some Facebook groups. There's a Little House Needleworks group, and everything on there that pops up a picture. I love it. I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to stitch everything. All the things. All the things. But one thing I will say about this, Etsy is a great place for stitchers, especially when you're starting your stash. And the Little House Needleworks, the Early American, I got this even weave from Hobby Lobby. You can't, it's kind of washed out in the light. It is a 28 count antique white. And that's what I'm going to use. But I'm really nervous. I haven't really, no, not really. I've never stitched on anything other than Ada. And so for me to stitch on something like this, I'm kind of scared. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do some, this piece is too big for what I'm going to use it for. So I'm going to cut some out and like kind of test it a little bit. Work with it, see how it goes. And let's see. These little thingies. Okay, first off, my birthday's coming up in like a month. And somehow, some way, I don't know how he's so gracious to me. I was able to get my husband to say, yes, you can order more cross-stitch stuff. Yeah, for your, but I based it on a early birthday present premise, which I probably shouldn't have done that, because I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to get this back tight. So I ordered off of Amazon these scroll frames that this is on. It was Edmund's Handy Clamp, I think. Something like that. It was a big set. It was 3 sets of rods and 2 sets of the sidebars. So technically, you can have a lot of stuff. I ordered that, and I ordered Edmund's Universal Stand, because I wanted, one thing Vonna talks about is that she's a 2-handed stitcher, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing. It took me a little bit, but I have been able to do that. I'm by no means ambidextrous, and so the left-handed part was a little bit tricky for me. But I'm doing it, and I really enjoy it. I can stitch pretty fast, or a lot faster, because my hand doesn't have to go all the way back around. Before I got these, I had a Q-snap that's probably, I don't know, 10 by 14. I don't know. It's too big for smaller projects. It was big enough for this piece of Ada, but I couldn't have really gone any smaller. And then these 2 little needle minders. Who thought that I would need a needle minder? The top one, the flowery one, I loved it because it reminded me of my grandmother's wallpaper in one of her bathrooms. And then the little kitty cat one, I have 2 Bombay kitty cats that are, Bombay is the breed, and that's means that they are all black, and so that bottom one just kind of fits me so well, because I got 2 kitty cats. We're fixing to get a dog also, a puppy no less, and I have no idea how that's gonna go. I'm really scared, because I remember when I brought my kitten home, my older cat freaked out. Now I got 2 cats. I'm worried about freaking out. So, but anyway, I'm actually kind of glad I can do this live stuff now. I recorded a video the other day, and I ended up not liking it, so I haven't posted it yet. I picked up my iPad for the first time in a couple of months. It's a little bit older, several years old. And I started messing with it, and a lot of things updated. And now I realize that you can live stream here on YouTube. And I like that. But yeah, Flosstube, it's addicting. Cross-stitching is addicting. Stashing is probably the most addicting. I'll keep on watching. I'll keep on stitching. Y'all have a good day.